Hey everyone! Hello everyone, and welcome to this very special celebration of Heartstopper Volume 6! Yeah. It's finally here. I'm just as excited as you are. I can't believe we're holding it in our hands. Hello to everyone in the room, and also hello to everyone who is watching on the live stream. Give them a cheer, give them a welcome from all of us in the room. I hope that everyone watching is feeling the love. Oh, did something happen? We are here at the gorgeous and historic Alexandra Palace Theatre. It's a total privilege to be here with you all, and what an evening it's going to be. We've got a Q&A for you, a special Heartstopper quiz, and even a live draw-along. I hope that you are ready. You're definitely all going to show me up. But of course, first, we need to invite a very special someone to the stage to make all of that happen. Alice Oseman is the best-selling graphic novelist since records began. Guys, the Heartstopper webcomics have had over 125 million views to date. To put that into context, that could fill Wembley Stadium over 1,500 times. Come on. Alice is a critically acclaimed best-selling author and illustrator, as well as a BAFTA-nominated and Emmy-winning screenwriter. They secured their first publishing deal, aged just 17, and has gone on to write 4 YA novels, 2 novellas, 5 graphic novels, and more. Well, now 6. So, please welcome to the stage, Alice Oseman!
We're just going to ignore the fact that I just walked in at totally the wrong time.
It's fine, no one noticed.
No one noticed.
It's a good thing that no one noticed that happened.
Yeah.
Alice, listen, it's Heartstopper Eve. Yes. It was the night before Heartstopper.
Oh my gosh.
How are you feeling?
I don't even know. I feel everything. Like, it's so surreal to be in this moment. Like, 10 years of Heartstopper, and now we're at the end, and it's so sad, but it's also so happy, and like, there's so much pride, and everyone's excited. Like, it's just a big old mix of everything.
Yeah, so just to ground us at the very beginning, let's go back to the start. Do you remember when you first drew Nick and Charlie?
Wow, yes, I do. It must have been, I think, the year I got a graphics tablet, which must have been like 2014 or something like that. And I'd written Solitaire, and I was like, oh, I'm going to draw my Solitaire characters. No, it wasn't even that. It was before that. Oh my God.
Fact check.
Fact check, wait. It was before that. That was the first time I drew them digitally, which is what I do all the time now. But actually, the first time I drew them was in a sketchbook, like, I think it was like 2012, around the time I was writing Solitaire. And I really love these characters, and I was like, I'm going to draw, Nick and Charlie's origin story, because that's not really a part of Solitaire. So the very first version of Heartstopper exists in this little sketchbook that I did when I was like, I don't know, 18 or 19. Yeah. Crazy.
And Heartstopper, of course, started as webcomics. Talk to me a little bit about how you discovered the platform. Were there other webcomics that you were paying attention to and you thought, I want to be part of that world?
Yeah, I'd been a reader of webcomics for a little while. I'm trying to think what I was reading at the time. Probably Check Please was one of the big ones, which
Some fans of Check Please in the room.
Check Please, any readers out there? So good, such a great comic. But there were so many that I was just dipping, into. Like, there's so much variety out there, and it was just so inspiring because it's just people doing it for passion. There was not really any money in it at all. It was just like people doing it on the side, and yeah, so fun.
Now that I've heard some whooping in the crowd, so I'm going to ask you to whoop again. If anyone in the room is interested in making their own webcomics or has already started. Anyone in the room? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I wanted to ask you, for the people who are currently in our audience, one day, I hope, if you'll have me, I would love to interview you guys as well up on this stage. what would your advice be to the people just starting out with webcomics?
My biggest piece of advice for making a webcomic is to find a style that you like to draw. I think it's really important when you're making a webcomic to not like sort of dive in too deep to the extent that you're going to burn out by page 50.
Yeah.
Like you have to pick a style that you're going to be able to sustain for a really long time. That was a really important part of the first thing I did for Heartstopper was I did an experiment where I said to myself, I'm just going to draw 10 pages in this like kind of loose sketch, like black and white style and see how that feels. And that felt good. Like I felt like something that I could keep doing, and obviously I did.
Thank God you did.
For quite a long time. So yeah, find that style that you love and you're not going to get bored of.
Yeah. Tell me about your commitment to keeping those webcomics, not only the first people to see the new iterations of Nick and Charlie's story, but also keeping that free.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, I mean, it goes back to the way Heartstopper started, I think, because it was a passion project from day one. Like, I was already publishing my novels. That was, by that point, kind of my job, even though I was, like, just about to leave university. And I thought, you know, this isn't really going to be something that traditional publishing is interested in. How wrong I was. But so it just started as something that I really had no ambitions of making a profit from. And it was free to read online, as are almost all webcomics. And so even when Heartstopper got published, it felt really important to me not to change that because, like, I mean, it's the community that it creates, I think, and the communication between me as a creator and the readers is so much fun. And like, I didn't want to lose that, and I think that it would have created some separation. And it's just been so important for so many people to be able to access this story. So yeah, I would never change that.
And we're very grateful to you for doing it that way. Now, when you do turn your hobby into your job in the way that you have, how do you relax and unwind? Because I imagine for a long time drawing and illustrating was what made you feel relaxed and like, oh, that's my hobby. I can finish working and go home and draw. How do you now find a balance there?
I am not very good at that at all. I'm not very good at self-care. I think, I mean, I try and prioritize other hobbies that are not related to my job. Like at the moment, I'm really in my video game era and playing a lot of video games. But you know, reading as well, and you know, just anything that's not drawing and writing, I think is important to make time for. But not something that I've prioritized, I'd say, in the last 10 years.
What video game are you playing right now?
Right now, I've just finished the new chapter of a game called Deltarune. Some Deltarune enjoys in the house, great.
Thank you for your whoops. I got to ask you, do you ever draw badly? Do you ever like sometimes just draw one of the characters and think, who the hell is that? That doesn't look anything like Charlie.
Absolutely. Literally just today I was drawing on the window for Waterstones Piccadilly, and the window is actually curved, like it's a bit of curved glass.
Right.
Extremely difficult to draw on that.
That's an extreme sport.
Yeah, so I think I was just kind of sitting there drawing Charlie's face, rubbing it out, drawing his face, rubbing it out for like an hour at one point, but got there in the end.
And famously, the trouble with windows is that people can see you on the other side.
Yes, this is true.
Was
so
like
everyone was watching that happen. Hope they enjoyed that.
Okay, so on to volume 6 specifically. To catch everyone up to speed, where did we last leave Nick and Charlie and the gang at the end of volume 5?
So we left them at the end of volume 5. Nick has just revealed to Charlie that he's decided he wants to go to Leeds for university, which is pretty far away from where Nick and Charlie live. So they both kind of presented with this question of like, when Nick leaves, they're going to become a long-distance couple. What does that mean for their relationship? Are they going to be okay? That's going to be a really big change for them. Also, Charlie has been thinking about applying to become head boy at school. We don't know whether he's going to go for it or not, but that he's thinking about it. And that's, where we go into volume 6.
And Nick and Charlie are sort of learning to support one another, how to be there for one another. And a theme across your books, I think, is a fear of being pitied, a fear of other people thinking, I need help, you know? And so I wondered how you approach that with Nick and Charlie specifically, and do you hope that young people reading these books, in fact, people of any generation reading these books, will learn too how to reach out to people when they do need support?
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, actually. I mean, Charlie goes on such a big journey with his mental health through the entire series, where he learns to open up about things that have happened to him in the past and feelings that he's having, and accept that support from so many people in his life. But we're also kind of seeing something similar happening with Nick as we get into volume 6. He's sort of starting to be the one who's struggling a little bit more in the relationship, but Nick is not used to asking for help. He is very selfless, and he wants to shoulder the struggles of other people and also his own struggles. So although he's witnessed Charlie go on this amazing journey, I think he's still got some things to learn himself.
By giving these characters their voices and allowing them to ask for help, has it kind of helped you as well, being able to figure out how you can word things when you need to ask your support network for support?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, so much of Heartstopper is about characters just figuring out their own feelings and like how to express themselves, and communication in relationships. And yeah, it's all of my writing, I think, is me sort of exploring these ideas that are present in my own mind as well. So yeah, definitely.
So we're kind of growing up with these characters. A lot of us have been reading these books and supporting the webcomics for a long time, and seeing Nick and Charlie and their friends grow up. Increasingly, as the series goes on, there are more adult themes. This one's a little saucy. Can we say that?
Sure.
It's not like romantasy level saucy.
Not quite, no.
But it's on the spectrum. It's on the way there.
Yeah, okay.
So talk to me about the importance of showing the real issues that real teenagers go through, and not shying away from the difficult stuff, the awkward conversations, the clumsy bits.
Yeah, that's been an essential element of Heartstopper for me from the beginning. Even in volume 1, Heartstopper has this like, people's perception of Heartstopper is strangely that it is this kind of 100% positive, uplifting, joyful, with nothing else in it. Whereas actually, you go back to volume 1 and Charlie is in a very toxic relationship. It's emotionally abusive, and there's serious issues that are kind of the characters are dealing with from the very start of the story. And so it was always my intention with Heartstopper to find the middle line, the kind of balancing point between showing these issues in a realistic way while also keeping that tone of like, it's going to be okay and things are going to work out, and there's always hope and joy and optimism. So yeah, it's always been a part of Heartstopper for me.
Yeah. And moving away and moving on, as you mentioned, are big themes in volume 6, not just for you as a writer, but also for the characters. Did it take you back to your own time applying for university via UCAS like Nick, considering a gap year like Tara and Darcy, perhaps moving abroad like another character in the book?
Yeah, oh my God. I had to look up what the current UCAS situation is. I think it's changed so much since I did it. But yeah, it's such a stressful time. Like when you're that age, you have to make very big decisions about your future. And that's what Nick has to do. And yeah, I don't envy him because it's an intense time.
Wait, I never considered that about kind of like the technology and the systems that you have to adjust to as you write to
Yeah.
kind of match them up? Because there's like screenshots of Instagram posts.
Yeah.
Do you have to look up, what does an Instagram post layout look like now?
I do. And in I think it's volume 1, there's Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, Facebook is a thing that these teenage characters use because that's what we used when I was a teenager, but obviously that's not really a thing nowadays, so I kind of have to keep it evolving.
Oh my God, I would have loved, like, during the pandemic if they were all, like, doing Be Real.
Yes, yes.
Actually, I would really love that as a bonus to see what all the characters Be Real look
All
like.
the characters be right. Yeah.
Let's talk about lovely Elle. Mm-hmm. You document her experience as a young trans woman. Talk to me about the importance of putting that on the page.
Yeah, I mean, she has been kind of an unexpected character for me in Heartstopper. I think she started as almost like, in the Nick and Charlie novella, which came out in 2015, she was literally an off-page character. We didn't even meet her in the story.
Yeah.
And then I introduced her in Heartstopper, and she's just gone on such an incredible journey. And in Heartstopper, I've always wanted to show a diverse range of queer experiences. And Elle's experience as a young trans person is so specific to her, and also, yeah, something that I think a lot of teens can relate to. And it's just wonderful to see her sort of come into her own and like decide to follow her dreams. And, you know, that's what we want for all young trans people. So, yeah.
There's... There's a conversation in this volume about pronouns too, and I wanted to ask you about writing scenes where characters tell each other their pronouns, tell each other which pronouns they would be most comfortable with, and also how that shifts at certain times, and the pronouns that you were once introduced to a person with may change at a later point. So I wondered how you wanted readers to kind of receive those scenes and how they could carry on those conversations in their own lives.
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, we do have a scene. I don't want to spoil it too much. I mean, I'm sure most of you know anyway. But
I'm treading carefully with my questions
yeah,
here.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't read it yet. But yes, in Volume 6, we do have a scene where a character reveals that they're changing their pronouns. And I wanted to write that in a way that just felt really authentic to that character, and also the situation that those characters are in. It doesn't have to be a sort of sit-down, very serious, intense conversation. It's just, you know, something that this character has been feeling for a while. And yeah, I mean, I hope that people will read that scene and be able to apply it to people in their own lives and just sort of see the support and the love that all those characters have for each other, and yeah, share that with people in your own lives.
Exactly. And while we're here, my pronouns are he, him.
Mine is she, they.
We also have more asexual and aromantic representation in here and across the Heartstopper universe. Talk to me about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love Tori Spring. I love her so much.
We all love Tori Spring. Come on now.
Yes, we love Tori Spring.
This is a Tori Spring Appreciation Society.
Yeah, so we learn in Volume 5 that Tori is asexual, and that was such a beautiful scene for me to write because she's been a character of mine since the very beginning, since I started writing, and it wasn't something that I was really aware of about her when I was writing Solitaire, which she is the main character of. But it's something that I've sort of seen in Solitaire more as I've gotten older and as my own understanding of asexuality has grown. So it felt kind of perfect to put it into Heartstopper because Heartstopper is this story where we're seeing so many different diverse queer experiences, and asexuality is not very often explored in fiction, in any kind of fiction, and so any opportunity for us to see what that experience is like, I think is really valuable.
Yeah. In Loveless, you say, give your friendships the magic you would give a romance because they're just as important. Actually, for us, they're way more important. In this final chapter, tell me about the importance of platonic love.
Yeah, it's like, everyone knows Heartstopper is a romance, but it has this core friendship group at its heart as well. All of these characters who love each other and support each other despite all of their differences, and you know, especially in volume 6, where they become aware that they're all going to be going off in different directions, and they're not going to be this group of people who see each other every day anymore. And it's so sad. Like they've been with each other for so long, and now they have to sort of say goodbye. And yeah, it's just one of the things that I love about Heartstopper, and I love writing everyone's different relationships. You know, I love Charlie and Tao's kind of bickery, like tough love type relationship, and I love Nick and Tara's kind of advice-giving sort of relationship where they can turn to each other in difficult moments. So there's all different kinds of friendships, and they're all a lot of fun.
We've got a fly on stage with us, by the way. I don't know if anyone can see that. I'm like, should we ask their pronouns as well? Everyone wants the spotlight.
Yeah.
A really powerful part of this book is the generational exchanges. There's an older gay couple who visit the coffee shop that Charlie works at. And it's so powerful to see potential, as well as the current situation that Nick and Charlie are in. For them to be able to visualize what it might look like to grow old together is just a really charming and poignant moment. So how important was that to kind of display on the page when you've been writing a series about teenagers?
Well, in my mind, volume 6 is so much about the future, and Nick and Charlie and all the other characters just trying to visualize what their future could look like. And I think that's particularly poignant for Charlie because he has dealt with such tough times in his teenage life, and there have been moments where he couldn't even picture a future for himself. And suddenly he has this realization of like, I've never really thought about what my future could look like. And then he meets this older gay couple. And I think it's really a really magical moment for him, and also us as readers, because you know, in the real world, it's honestly not something you see very often, a gay couple of that age, and it's really inspiring for Charlie to just see them and think, that could be me. Like I could be an old happy person with the person I love, and yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, caring for one another. And then on the other hand, we also witness Charlie looking out for younger students at the school as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's. Because to look into the future, Nick and Charlie also have to look into the past and sort of come to terms with everything that's happened. And one of those things for Charlie is the bullying that he faced as a younger student. And it's so beautiful in Volume 6. I mean, this isn't really that spoilery, but you know, he meets this younger kid at Truham and who is being bullied in the same way that Charlie was being bullied, and Charlie is able to help him, and it's a real, like, it's a healing moment for him, I think.
And I'm sure for so many people reading it too, it's a healing moment.
Yeah.
And Charlie is working towards setting up a pride club at school too. I wanted to ask you, why is it so crucial for institutions like a school to create spaces for community in this way?
Yes, it's so important. Like, it can be so lonely being a young queer person. You can feel like you're the only person going through this thing, and if you don't have people to reach out to and connect with, then you might just retreat into yourself, and no one wants that for you. So these spaces are so important, to be able to come to school and there to be this group of people who you feel safe with is so valuable. So I hope that I know that there are lots of groups like that around, and I just hope that there begin to be more in the future.
Yeah. And I hope that these books give people the kind of apparatus to be able to do that and have the vocabulary to approach the queer community, even if they themselves, as leaders of these institutions, are not part of it, they can be good allies as well. So thank you for giving people that language. One of the scenes in the book is a Halloween party.
Yes.
And it reminded me of the classic sitcoms, like Friends, where they would have the Thanksgiving episode and the Halloween episode, and how fun that was to get to see. I feel like we've lost the art of the Halloween episode.
So
you
true.
know? Now that everything is on streaming, and it's like, there are 6 episodes in the season, and they all are like feature-length films.
Yeah.
Where's the Halloween episode? But we kind of get it here, right?
We do.
And I wanted to ask you how much fun that is to get to imagine what each of the characters would dress up as for Halloween. Does that kind of flex your creativity all over again.
It's so much fun. Oh my God, I was so excited to draw that, honestly. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I loved picking all of their costumes. A little bit tricky in the comics because we can't use anything copyrighted like we can in the show. So couldn't have anyone dressing up as a superhero or anything like that.
Right.
But yes, I think I made some good choices.
I think you made some good choices too. Do you ever worry that because now the Heartstopper community is so large that people might be like, I don't believe that's what Charlie would dress up as?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there will be. Like, that's just what happens when there are a lot of people in the audience. There will always be differing opinions.
And you mentioned before those kind of interesting combinations of people, Charlie and Tao, for example. I wanted to ask you, are there any combinations of characters who you were getting to the final volume and you're like, oh, those two characters have never had a scene together before. I need to make sure they have a conversation because their dynamic would be really special as well.
Do you know what? It was actually, I think it was Charlie and Darcy. I thought of as a really interesting combination that we hadn't seen a lot of before. So in Volume 6, we see that they are working at the same job, which I think is quite a funny combination of people. So, yeah.
Are there any others that you didn't get to explore that you think would be almost like a challenge? Like, you know, sometimes in friend groups, there are sort of like the friends that you're friends with in the group, but you haven't hung out with one-on-one.
There's not like an individual friendship. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I guess there's like, I don't know. No. Maybe like Tao and Sahar. Like, that's quite a random combination of people.
Like, we need like a side novella of
like
what's
them their story?
Going on an adventure together. Guys, I'm just pitching ideas. Like, I'm not ready to let these characters go. I'm like, what if we get really creative? Start spitballing ideas at you. I know that the webcomics kind of force you to write chronologically, but did you always know how Heartstopper would end?
Not always. I've known for quite a long time. For several years, I think I've known that I wanted it to end when Nick goes to university. But when I started Heartstopper, I didn't think it would take me more than a year or two to make. So I definitely wasn't thinking that far ahead.
Yeah. Were the final comic scenes the final thing you drew?
Yeah, because I draw every page chronologically, so...
There wasn't like, I might just skip ahead and just quickly sketch that.
I never do that, and it's actually quite important to my process to not do that, because it means that I have to make every page interesting. Like, if I don't want to be at a scene where I'm like, oh, I'm so bored to draw this. No, like, I have to keep everything interesting for me.
I mean, I guess that's why they're so addictive to read. Talk me through that moment then. What was going through your head as you were sketching the very final scenes of Heartstopper?
It was emotional. It was so emotional. Because at that point, what I've been doing with Heartstopper for a really long time is I draw a page and then I immediately share it on my Patreon. So I've got this like immediate feedback from a lot of people who are reading as you go along. But I didn't do that with the epilogue, so I was really completely on my own, not sharing it with anyone. And just every time I drew something, it was like, oh, this is the last time I'm going to draw this. This is the last time I'm going to draw this. And then it got to the final page, and it took me ages because I just didn't want to end it. Like, please, I don't want it to end. But yeah.
Where were you when you did that? Did you have a space?
In my office, I always draw Heartstopper at my desk in my office. Yeah.
And when was that? When was the final?
That was in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you shared it pretty soon after that,
then it came out, online in April. So, I know.
And you mentioned your Patreon supporters there. Is it right that in 2018, to get the first physical copies of Heartstopper, you actually crowdfunded?
Yes.
Tell me that story. That's so interesting.
So I did a Kickstarter for Volume 1, self-published. It did really well, kind of surprisingly well. I didn't think that many people were going to want a copy. Ended up printing 2,000 copies of Heartstopper Volume 1, which were delivered to my parents' house and stayed there for many months. It was a kind of crazy experience. I would never do it again like that. It was so much work, but definitely worth it. Yeah.
My old housemate used to work for Caroline Calloway. Like she
What?
she wrote a book called Scammer, but she self-published it.
Yeah.
And she would have people ordering it, and she was like literally gluing the spines on in her bedroom to send them out to people. Now, of course, we have one more thing we need to talk about. Has anyone heard of the Netflix series? So there's a little thing called Heartstopper Forever.
Yeah.
There's a movie
There's a movie.
which is coming to Netflix. Actually, it comes out July 17th.
Yes.
The same day as Christopher Nolan's new adaptation of The Odyssey.
Yeah.
Which is my Barbenheimer.
Oddstopper?
Yeah, I put like Oddystopper.
Oddystopper. Okay.
Quite like that.
I like
Hard
it.
to See didn't really have the same.
No, that's not as good.
Oddystopper, we happy with that? Yeah. That's my July 17th
Yeah.
plan. Tell me, what has that process been like? This final version is going to be a film instead of a TV series. Talk us through that.
Yeah, it's been an intense process,
Yeah.
I'd say. It's sort of gotten harder to make every single time just because of logistics and like, you know, it's a lot of work from a lot of people. But we're so excited about it. I mean, the fact that it's a film is really exciting for everyone because it's so different to the show, and it's got a different structure and a different vibe, and the story itself has kind of matured in a way that I think will surprise a lot of people and be really fun for people. So yeah, I can't wait.
I'm very excited. I wanted to ask you, were there any non-negotiable scenes that when you went to, I don't know, Netflix HQ, does that exist? Netflix HQ, I don't know why I imagine it like this big bait in the shape of an N, like, oh,
Yeah.
ta-da.
Similar.
Were there any scenes that you said to them, guys, I know this doesn't drive the plot forward, I know this isn't crucial to the structure of the movie, but the fans need this scene to be in the film?
100%, yeah, lots of stuff. I mean, Volume 6, it's a really good adaptation of Volume 6. Like, there's a lot, once you've read that book, you'll recognize a lot of things.
Can I say, look at the media training.
No spoilers.
I really thought I was going to get one of the scenes that's in the film out of you. No chance.
No.
Tight-lipped. Otherwise, the Netflix gods will come down and shoot
Literally,
us.
yeah. They're watching.
How often were you on the set for the film?
I was on the set, I think, every day except possibly one day where I went to see Billie Eilish.
It's a valid excuse.
Yeah, I think so.
Although I would have loved if Billie Eilish had come to you.
That would have been great.
That would have been cool. You had a cameo in season 1. Can you tease anything at all about the movie?
I mean, you might see another little me in there somewhere.
Yes! I'm not going to put your media training to the absolute test and ask you another question about that, but tell us the story and the experience of your cameo in season 1. How did that come about? 'Cause we've seen that one. That one's out in the universe, so you can tell us that story.
I think that was the director's idea, and he wanted me to have a cameo, and I was like, okay, but I don't want to speak, I don't want to be, I don't want to close up, I just want to be in the background doing something. And we thought it would just be really cute if I was on the train while Nick and Charlie are heading up to their first ever proper date at the beach. And I was drawing Nick and Charlie. It was very cute, yeah.
It is really sweet. I guess I wanted to ask you about, this is the horrible question that I know you don't want. What's next?
What's next? I don't know. I think I need a break for a bit. I think I need to just refresh my imagination and my creativity. It's been a very long time since I've existed without a deadline. So I just need some time to just like make whatever I want to make, do whatever I want to do, consume other people's art, and then see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm interested in. Like, I would be really excited to go back to prose fiction, because I haven't done that for a really long time, and I miss it very much. But I've also really enjoyed working in TV and film. I would love to sort of see if there's anything more I could do in that world. And of course, I will always be making comics because I love to draw. So yeah, it's just a big question mark at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone here when I say, take your time,
Yes,
take a break.
that's the plan.
And we're not going anywhere. We will all be here as soon as you're ready to come back and give us something new.